ever try like giving someone directions to intelligence itself?
Right.
It's like way harder than getting to that new ramen place downtown, you
Yeah.
know?
It's funny you should say that because we're diving into this stack of expert commentaries,
Okay.
and they all grapple with that question, like, what is intelligence anyway?
Right. And these are all responses to a paper called On Defining Artificial Intelligence. And
Yes.
before you think, oh no, not AI jargon, trust me, this gets super interesting,
Yeah.
even philosophical.
It does because it's not just about robots, you see.
Right.
By trying to define intelligence in machines, we're kind of forced to confront what it means for us to be intelligent.
Yeah. Oh, wait, let's unpack this.
Okay.
So this paper, did it actually define intelligence or like...
Well, that's the fascinating part. It doesn't give like a single answer. In fact, it highlights just how hard it is to pin down.
Okay.
One expert even compared it to nailing jelly to a wall.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So where do the experts even start with this whole intelligence thing?
Well, many focus on adaptability.
Yeah.
Like how well can something learn from experience, deal with new situation,
Right.
basically roll with the punches.
Oh, that reminds me of this one expert's story about a steak.
Okay.
They ordered it medium rare. It came out well done.
Oh, no.
And suddenly they remembered a terrible haircut from years ago.
What?
Totally random. But it shows how our brains connect experiences, you know,
Yeah.
in this web of reminding.
Yeah, and that's surprisingly relevant to AI.
Really?
If we want to build truly intelligent machines, they might need that ability to make those kinds of leaps,
Okay.
not just follow pre-programmed rules.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But then there's another side to this. It's not just about adapting, right?
Right.
It's also about what you can do.
Exactly. Some experts emphasize capability as central to intelligence,
Okay.
solving problems, making decisions, achieving goals, and this is where the strong AI hypothesis comes in.
Okay.
The idea that computers could potentially possess genuine intelligence,
Okay.
not just simulate it.
So hold on. Strong AI hypothesis.
Yeah.
That's basically saying AI could be as smart as us, or even smarter.
Yeah,
Not just good at playing chess or writing poems because we programmed it to.
precisely. And as you can imagine, this sparks some intense debate.
Not it.
Some experts find this idea totally plausible,
Mm-hmm.
while others call it completely absurd.
Which makes you wonder, what are those skeptics seeing that's got them, well, skeptical? If current AI, even with its massive data crunching power, isn't truly intelligent, what's missing?
One expert suggests that truly replicating the human mind might require technology beyond our current digital computers,
Okay.
something that could mimic the complex interplay of not just electrical signals,
Yeah.
but also chemical reactions, emotions, even our subconscious processes.
Whoa, okay. So it's like imagine a computer that doesn't just calculate but actually feels whether an answer is right, you know?
Right.
Based on some gut instinct we haven't figured out how to replicate. It's like we're trying to build a skyscraper, but we've only just figured out how to make bricks.
Right.
We don't even know if those are the right materials.
Exactly. And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because some experts argue that maybe, just maybe, we're being too narrow-minded in what we consider intelligence in the first place.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one too narrow-minded. How so?
Well, think about it. We tend to define intelligence based on our own human capabilities.
Okay.
Things like language, logic, problem solving.
Right.
But what if those aren't the only ways to be intelligent?
I think I see where you're going with this. You're talking about those commentaries that brought up plant intelligence.
Exactly. Plants adapt to their environment, communicate with each other, even defend themselves in sophisticated ways.
Yeah.
They've been thriving for millions of years longer than humans.
Right.
So,
Right.
does that count as a form of intelligence, even if it doesn't look like the way we think?
Okay. Yeah, I've never felt particularly smart trying to keep a houseplant alive.
Right.
They might be onto something.
This leads to a concept that one of the commentaries dives into:
Okay.
morphological intelligence.
Morphological intelligence. Okay. You're gonna have to break that one down for me.
Think of it as the intelligence that's embedded in an organism's physical form and its relationship to the environment.
So it's not about having a brain that thinks, but more about how your very structure is already a solution to problems.
Exactly. Take the example of a spider web.
Okay.
The spider doesn't need to consciously calculate angles and tensile strength.
Right.
It's all encoded in its biology in the way it instinctively builds its web. That's morphological intelligence in action.
Wow.
Elegant, efficient, and honed over millions of years of evolution.
So you're saying that a spider web, just by existing and functioning the way it does, is a form of intelligence? My mind is kind of blown right now.
It challenges us to rethink our definition of intelligence.
Right.
Maybe it's not just about what you can do with a brain,
Right.
but also about how you're designed, how you interact with the world, and how effectively you solve problems within your own specific niche.
And here's where I think this connects back to AI in a big way. If we're just focused on recreating human-like intelligence, are we limiting ourselves?
Yeah.
What if we could learn from these other forms of intelligence, like plants or spider webs, to build AI that operates in fundamentally different ways?
What if instead of trying to replicate the human brain in silicon, we started thinking about AI that embodies intelligence through its design, its materials, its interactions with the physical world?
Yeah.
We could see AI that surpasses human capabilities in specific areas,
Mm.
not by thinking like us, but by being uniquely adapted to its own set of challenges.
Okay, I'm just picturing like a self-building bridge that adapts its structure in real time based on traffic flow and weather conditions.
Yeah,
No central brain necessary, just pure, elegant, morphological intelligence.
precisely. And that's just one example.
Wow.
Imagine the possibilities in robotics and architecture in solving environmental challenges.
This whole discussion is making me realize that we've been so fixated on the idea of AI thinking like us that we've barely scratched the surface of what it could really be.
And that brings us to another crucial point. This whole quest to create artificial intelligence is forcing us to examine our own intelligence in a whole new light.
Yeah.
It's like holding up a mirror to our own minds.
It's like we're trying to bake a cake, but we've never actually stopped to figure out how the oven works.
Exactly, by trying to replicate processes like learning memory and problem solving in AI.
Right.
We're forced to ask deeper questions about how these processes work in humans.
We spend so much time like trying to understand how AI will change us.
Right. It's equally fascinating to consider how our attempts to create AI are changing how we understand ourselves.
It's like we're holding up a mirror to our own brains,
Yeah.
trying to figure out how they work by reverse engineering them in code.
And one thing this research makes abundantly clear is that intelligence isn't some fixed, measurable thing.
Right.
You either have it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's a process, a dynamic relationship between an organism
Okay.
or a machine and its environment.
Which brings us to what I think is a really important question, maybe even a little unsettling.
Yeah.
The outline for this deep dive had this ending provocation. What if, in a world increasingly designed to make things easy, humans are actually becoming less intelligent?
It's a thought-provoking question.
Yeah.
And it ties directly to this idea of intelligence as a process of adaptation.
Right.
One expert used the phrase adaptation with insufficient knowledge and resources
Okay.
to really get at the heart of what intelligence does.
Okay, break that down for me. Adaptation with insufficient knowledge and resources. That sounds like my brain every Monday morning.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Is when we're faced with a challenge
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have all the answers or the perfect tools to solve it.
Right.
That's when true intelligence, that ability to learn, adapt, and innovate, really shines through.
Okay, but nowadays we've got GPS instead of map reading, Google for instant answers, algorithms that curate our newsfeed. So we barely have to think for ourselves.
And this is where the potential for a decline in certain cognitive skills becomes a real concern.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had to memorize a phone number, for instance?
Oh, God.
Or navigate a new city without relying on your phone?
Gosh, those are good points. I'm feeling personally attacked right now.
But it's not about demonizing technology. It's
Right.
about being mindful of how we use it.
Right.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool that can be used to enhance our abilities or to create dependencies.
So how do we strike that balance? How do we reap the benefits of all this amazing technology without letting our brains turn into like overcooked noodles?
It's about being active participants in our own learning and development.
Okay.
Don't just accept the information presented to you.
Right.
Question it. Dig deeper. Seek out diverse perspectives.
And maybe put the phone down every once in a while.
Yeah?
Challenge yourself to solve a problem the old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm.
Have a conversation with someone who disagrees with you.
Right.
Learn a new skill that requires real mental effort.
Precisely, remember, true intelligence thrives on challenge,
Yeah.
on pushing beyond the boundaries of what's comfortable or familiar. Don't be afraid to get a little uncomfortable, to stretch those cognitive muscles. That's where real growth and adaptability happen.
So for anyone listening who, like me, just had a minor existential crisis about their own intelligence, what's the takeaway? What should we do with all this?
Think of this as a call to action, not a reason to panic.
Okay.
Embrace the fact that intelligence is a journey, not a destination. Never stop questioning, never stop exploring, and never underestimate the incredible adaptable power of your own mind.
I love that this whole deep dive has been a reminder that the most fascinating intelligence we might ever encounter is the one we carry around in our own heads. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep those brains buzzing.